It's time for the Gold Show. Jonathan Rose, CEO, President of the Capital Gold Group, and Precious Metals Investment Strategist is with us today. Jonathan, it's good to talk with you again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be here and help educate our listeners on the importance of having a balanced portfolio that does include precious metals, particularly gold and silver. And as the world and the economy continues to unravel around us and people are running to the hills away from the US dollar, people are now flocking to gold for safety and security. And on today's show, we're going to explain the benefits, the advantages of adding gold to your portfolio, plus the reasons why gold is deemed as portfolio insurance.
Well, Jonathan, before we get started, would it be possible to offer for the listeners a copy of the Gold Guide, the normally $80 value that really gives them a background on gold, its history, and why it's so important, and get that to them for free?
Absolutely. It's normally an $80 value, but on today's broadcast, listeners can call in toll-free at 800-510-9594. Again, it's 800-510-9594. They'll get the free Gold Guide sent to them. It comes with a great DVD. It's got a lot of topical information that we talk about on the show, especially to do with the economy, the US dollar, and really how easy it is to get started by holding on to gold. And if you want that information, again, it's free. You just have to pick up the phone and call us at 800-510-9594. That's 800-510-9594. You can also subscribe to our podcast at safeasgold.com, and you can also see international gold prices at safeasgold.us.
All right, and on today's show, we're going to focus on the shrinking U.S. dollar and what some people are doing about it and why we need to be very savvy right now. Now, you say that there are a couple of countries that are dumping their dollars. Explain.
Well, absolutely, and this should be, people should pay close attention to this because right now, according to Bloomberg, Russia and Brazil, seeking to reduce their dependence on the dollar, announced to buy $20 billion worth of bonds from the International Monetary Fund, known as the IMF, to diversify their currency reserves. And in fact, Russia's central bank said it may cut investments in U.S. treasuries currently valued as much as $140 billion. And what's going on right now, a lot of countries around the world, they're seeing the U.S. dollar continue to fall, and people are concerned, especially since they're holding their currency reserves in U.S. dollar. And the main reason why they want to get out of the U.S. dollar isn't just because, the economic slowdown, but the bigger picture here, just as Ben Bernanke was talking about last week with the stimulus plan and all this money, all this spending, it's going to mean absolutely nothing if the U.S. budget, which is our deficit right now, isn't brought down. And in fact, from September of last year, our U.S. trade deficit was $455 billion. Well, now, after all this government spending, the U.S. trade deficit is at its biggest in history at $1.75 trillion. Now, we've gone from the millions to the billions to the trillions, and the reality is, the U.S. economy is in extreme debt. The deficit is completely out of control, and a lot of these other countries are concerned that if they're holding their currency reserves in the U.S. dollar and the economy in the U.S. can't recover, well, that money could be actually put somewhere else where they believe it's going to be safer than the U.S. dollar. This mixed messages that have been sent from around the globe from all these other countries have people kind of in a frenzy right now, and that's why you have lots of these Wall Street traders running around screaming, cash is trash, cash is trash. Obviously, there's a slight joke to that. We all need cash to live on, but the point they're trying to make to people is that, if you travel around the world and you look at currencies, what you'll realize is that the U.S. dollar is in a deep decline right now, and in fact, since mid-April, the U.S. dollar has shrunk 9%. Now, people may expect that to happen in a pace of a year, not in 1 month. So as people are seeing the U.S. dollar shrinking and as Wall Street traders are screaming cash is trash, they're telling people to diversify. These are the next few years where you want to be, intangible assets, something heavy. If you dropped it on your foot, you went out, and they're talking about gold. And gold is considered a safe haven. It's a storage of wealth. It's a flight to safety and security. And if you look at economists out there and even people very well respected like Warren Buffett, who just recently purchased two of the largest gold manufacturing companies in the U.S. Well, the reason why he's done that is because that's how he's diversifying his portfolio, because Warren Buffett also believes that the days of double-digit returns in the stock market, they're over. They're diminished, they're gone. So people are looking for other vehicles where they can park their money that's going to be safe, secure, and a storage of wealth. And if you look throughout time, there's a reason why people have shifted or protected their nest egg with gold, because that is a storage of wealth. It keeps pace with inflation. When any currencies continue to go down, like the government can devalue a currency, gold goes up. If there's tensions in the Middle East or people are test-firing rockets, well, that causes a panic in the stock market, gold goes up. And what I love about gold, independent of all market cycles. So, the worst things seem to get, and unfortunately, that seems what's happening right now. That's actually good for gold, and it's one of the reasons why people should be looking at where their money's parked and realize there's lots of profit to be made in the gold market right now, and the security is by holding on to that precious metal.
Well, as investors, as they seek a hedge against the effects of these things, the dollar losing value, the meltdown of the dollar, volatility out there, the recession, how can they turn to gold? How can you purchase gold right now to do this?
Well, the safest way to do it is to take physical possession of the gold, so you literally hold on to it in your hand. And if you call us here at the Capital Gold Group at 800-510-9594, request your free updated 2009 gold guide, and it will show you how to purchase gold at the lowest possible prices, which gold coins and bars will give you a better return in the future. And if you have a retirement plan such as an IRA or a 401k, just like it was featured in the Wall Street Journal, we'll show you how you can roll that over into an IRA backed by solid gold. It's still an IRA. You still get statements, except rather than being in a shrinking US dollar or a volatile stock market, you have your own private safety deposit box that's licensed by the major exchanges that holds gold in there. And again, if you want to know more information about that, you can call us toll-free at 800-510-9594. Again, that's 800-510-9594 for your free Gold Insiders Investing Guide.
You are listening to The Gold Show. Jonathan Rose is with us from the Capital Gold Group. We're talking about the dollar, and as the dollar slips in value, what other countries are doing. And, Jonathan, they're doing it on a bigger scale, but you would say that those of us who have made money and just put it in the bank, we're slipping in our buying power right now, aren't we?
We really are. And like I mentioned, other countries are diversifying their holdings away from the US dollar, and they're looking at gold as an asset, as a safe haven, especially over the next decade. And in fact, according to Bloomberg, Northwestern Mutual, which is the third largest U.S. life insurance company out there, they recently purchased gold for the first time in the company's history, 152 years since the company's been around. First time they purchased gold. And in explaining their $400 million transaction, the CEO told investors, gold just seems to make sense. It's a store of value. In the Depression, gold did very, very well. And in fact, gold prices, he mentioned, could even double or rise fivefold if the economy continues to weaken. And the downside is limited, but the upside is large. We have stocks in our portfolio that have lost 95%. Gold is not going down to $90. So, gold is a smart buy right now. It's extremely undervalued. We saw gold making a run to $1,000 an ounce the other week. It didn't quite get there, and in fact, it's pulled back. It's now